What's up, everybody? I'm Vernon Kid here again. Welcome back to the Opinion Spot. Hope everybody is well on their end. Got a little bit of information for you guys that I wanted to spread around to my YouTube family and fellow comic geeks. And it's basically towards Marvel, actually. Now, I was on Comic Vine. You know, I gotta plug Comic Vine. I love going there. And I was reading an article where basically now, because of this whole partnership with Disney, the association with Disney now, and right as far as I'm concerned now, I'm with Tyler or Deadpoolzilla. You know, I really don't mind it no more. You know, I'm not really. I've said it the first time before. You know, just take one step at a time, right? So what I was reading this article, it was saying that likes is like this. The article was saying Ka-Zar, Power Pack, and Dazzler coming to the screens. Okay. Now Marvel basically goes on to say Marvel has been talking for years of bringing its lesser known characters to the big screen. You know, of course we all remember, if you haven't, Ray Parks, who played Darth Maul and Snake Eyes and Toad, was talks to play Danny Rad and Iron Fist. There was supposed to be a Werewolf by Night movie, that floated around. But according to some more, Ka-Zar, like I said, Ka-Zar, Power Pack, Doctor Strange, Dazzler, and Luke Cage are some of the characters Marvel's currently considering for new ventures, to bring, with a little, bring it to the big screen, most definitely now because of their association with Disney and seeing that this is more likely to happen now. And here's my opinion on it. This is good. This is good. But however, they're not going to really have a huge budget. From what the article reads, they're going to basically produce lower budget features. But when I mean lower budget, I don't mean with it's going directly to DVD. This will come out in the movie theaters with a lower budget from what they're saying. Unlike the works of like Iron Man 2 and the Avengers and Captain America and Spider-Man, all those start typically around the 100+ million budget. But these movies basically would be basically around the budget of 20 to 40 million, ranging, basically, and from there they will see where it would take it, and basically to broaden the eyes of the okay comic reader that likes Marvel but don't know a lot about the other Marvel characters outside of like those of the X-Men and the Hulk and Wolverine and Spider-Man and people like Fantastic Four, familiar, that kind of get more shine, as I always say. Like I said, this is a good way for them to do it, and the more I keep saying it, Luke Cage all the way with the movie, yes, and I keep saying it before, Terry Crews, get this man as Luke Cage. He is perfect for this role. Forget Tyrese, forget him. It's too small. Luke Cage has the attitude. He don't even need to put on any more muscle mass because the dude is already jacked up as it is. Perfect for him. And Mr. Cruz has picked some very good roles so far, and he's going to be co-starring with Sylvester Stallone and Jason Statham and Jet Li and Randy Couture and all of them in the Expendables movie. So he has pretty much solidified himself, in my book, my opinion, as a top guy in action, and can pull off Mr. Cage very well. Excuse me. Um, Doctor Strange is another character that are not familiar with. Like I said, once again, the occasional comic reader. This will also broaden the horizon of the mystical realm of the Marvel universe. You know what I mean? You delved into the supernatural basically with Ghost Rider, which is he's gonna have a sequel coming soon anyway. But the supernatural base but the mystical, meaning magic and stuff, Doctor Strange is all before that. I would love to see that. Power Pack, that's for the kids. That could be definitely for the kids, towards more the kids. Ka-Zar and Dazzler, in my eyes, is more of a no. When I hear Dazzler or Ka-Zar, I always think about, well, especially Dazzler. Dazzler, you always think about the X-Men, but Ka-Zar, same thing. Ka-Zar is more an X-Men brand, so I would think that would stay with Fox or whatever. But Marvel has been thinking about, for Marvel Studios, they've been thinking about bringing, since the partnership and everything, they got the rights and stuff. You know, when I say, guys, some of you probably heard me say, oh, low budget, but that's going to be crap. But let me hit some knowledge with you guys. You know what I'm saying? If you think about Marvel's, and if you can't really see them, but I'm putting up my fingers, quote unquote, golden age of movies. The first movie that verized, Marvel to the big time started out with a lower budget movie, and that's the one and only Blade. Blade had a budget of 45 million, and look how that one turned out. The first movie was great. It grossed 10 times that. And then follow from there, with Blade 2, which was better than the first. It had a budget of 54 million. It kept rising, and it grossed even more. And then yes, Trinity sucked, but it had a bigger budget. It had the biggest out of them, which was 65 million, and it grossed about 128 million in revenues. So that's what Marvel is thinking about doing, like giving them that kind of leeway, giving them the lesser known characters. And Luke Cage is a prime example. I'm keep going back to Luke because with him the budget can go, I can see a budget of 40 mil with this movie, because first of all, you don't really need too much with special effects for Luke Cage, because most of his enemies are not like, won't have to jettison out, special powers and things. Luke Cage, for example, is a hero of great strength. He has super strength and ability and things like that, and his unbreakable skin, so you really don't have to touch too much on it. But I keep coming back to Luke because it'd be great to see him get that shine that he damn sure deserves, and broaden him to people who will actually, keep going back to the occasional readers, and go back to saying, wow, that Luke Cage, he's different from the other Marvel heroes. He doesn't wear a costume. He kind of is like the people's hero. He's a hero for hire. And I want to know more about him. And that's kind of what happened with Blade, with the movie. Wesley Snipes did a great job as him, but because of that, not for me, but excluding myself and probably my listeners, Blade was always, I already knew about Blade. I knew who he was. I know what he, but when you have people that are not occasional about Blade and you bring a movie out about him, then that's going to get people interested in reading or looking up. Because of that, around my block, I get more kids coming up to me, the kids around my neighborhood coming up to me saying, hey Chris, did you read Ghost Rider or something like that? Because of the movie. They saw the movie and then they got interested, and their parents come up to me and saying, thank you and stuff like that, because they wanted their kids to read and broaden their mind. And comic books are always a good source of reading material, no matter what it is. So in terms of this, guys, I could actually see this is a good thing. This is a real good thing, and you could rise up the budget. If the first movie does well, you amp up the budget more. If it don't, it doesn't. But this is good in my opinion. This is great. But there are so many other characters I'm not mentioning, but I really wanted to get more of your thoughts. I mean, because the question is, what character do you see? Do you want to see? And here's a tougher question: which ones are more feasible of doing? With a budget of 20 to 40 mil. Luke Cage is a prime example, but there are others, that don't need that. So that's really the question. If you want to read the article, I will plug it down on the description line, and you go right to it and read about it. But other than that, guys, just say my little thoughts to you guys, and Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love. I'm out.